We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. Yes, Paul Konerko, Alex Rios, Adam Dunn in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Albert Pujols and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson. As we get set to bring you the first of this three-game set and the first of this brief three-game homestand. As you know, we just got off the road. We had 8 games. We had 3 in Texas. We had 3 in Kansas City, 2 in New York. And as bad as we played, we came home 4-4. But we're facing a team tonight that's having some guys with big offensive names on it.
They have some big offensive names and some huge salaries. And 2 guys who are not doing it are Albert Pujols and Josh Hamilton. Pujols hitting just .238, 5 home runs, 19 driven in, slugging percentage of .400. That's not Albert. And Josh Hamilton may be suffering from trying to substantiate a huge contract, .213. His slugging percentage, .346. He really hasn't done much, but the pitching has been bad, especially in the starting rotation. As you can see, the ERA .490, most un-Angel-like, certainly not a Mike Scioscia team, but tonight, something different.
Well, we've got a guy out there on the mound. To us, has been the unsung hero in this ball club, Dylan Axelrod.
Axelrod's done a great job. 5 of 6 times out, he could have easily have won, yet he doesn't have any wins this year. And he's facing Barry Enright. Enright, opponent's hitting .280 lifetime against him. You can see his stats as a starter, not very good. It's an emergency start. Tommy Hanson was supposed to start. He's on the bereavement list. So I think we have an advantage tonight. The Angels 5-13 on the road. Let's take advantage of it.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Field, where it is 42 degrees at game time. It's overcast, but we are going to get the game in. And this is the time you want to play the Angels. They're 5-13 on the road. This team has been reeling, and they haven't won back-to-back games on the road all season long. They did indeed win one at Houston. It took 4 hours and 8 minutes. This team got into Chicago at 4 o'clock in the morning. Probably a good time to face him, and Dylan Axelrod has been very good this year. So now let's see how Mike Scioscia is going to line up his Angels for the game tonight. J.B. Shuck leading off, then it's Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Mark Trumbo, Josh Hamilton, Howie Kendrick, who's done a great job, Alberto Callaspo, Hank Conger, and Brendan Harris, who's been around playing shortstop and hitting ninth. The defense and how they're going to line up behind Axelrod. It's going to be Viciedo back in the lineup, and welcome back to him, along with Diaza, Rios. Then in the infield, Gillespie, Ramirez, Keppinger, and Dunn. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Dylan Axelrod. Dylan on for his 7th start. He's pitched exceptionally well. Opponent's hitting just .239. He's allowed only 4 home runs. More times than not, he's kept the ball club in the game, but unfortunately, he has not had a lot of offensive support. So on a very chilly night here in Chicago, Dylan will hopefully pitch the same as he's pitched all year long. Let's take a look at the men in blue tonight. Corey Blazer behind the plate. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, is at first. Ed Hickox is at second, and Lance Barksdale is at third. So we'll look at the man who is somewhat of a beleaguered manager, although not his fault. He's got a terrible bullpen and a starting rotation whose ERA is .490. It's tough to win games like that. Robin Ventura has seen his ball club go 4-4 on the road and hoping to put together a very successful brief 3-game homestand before heading off to Minnesota. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. We're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Stevie. Thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the first of this brief 3-game homestand. J.B. Shuck, 25-year-old outfielder, originally in the Houston organization, will lead it off for the Halos. Shuck comes in hitting at .293, no homers. He's driven in 3.
Viciedo doesn't want to play too deep in left field. Shuck really doesn't have a whole lot of power, especially to the opposite field.
Outfield shading him that way as there's first pitch, and it misses. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gap, send 400 straightaway center. That strike evens the count. Halos come in hitting at .257 as a club with a 4.66 team ERA. And as Steve mentioned, 5-13 on the road. 1-2. Fifth leadoff hitter they have had this season.
Shuck doesn't have particularly good power, and that's one of the reasons why he no longer is with Houston. He's a corner outfielder, but he usually doesn't hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Nice. Got him off balance out in front. He can run.
You love to see those left-hand hitters try to pull the ball moving away from them, because when they do, it's usually going to go right at who's ever playing second base, as Jeff Keppinger tonight. And he learned something right there. You can't take your time with Shuck going down the line, because he got down the line in a hurry.
Well, you should have.
Yeah.
Should have learned it. So here's Trout. He can run as well. Got a .273, 5 homers. He's driven in 22. And Lexi knows it. Low throw. And they just do get it.
There was no chance at all for Alexi to plant and throw. He had to use a one-hop throw over to Dunn. He got it there, and that one didn't spend a long time in his glove. Knowing the speed of Trout, and he's as fast as anybody around, he gets it there an eyelash ahead of him. The call by Jeff Nelson. And that is close, but he's out by a good half step.
That'll bring up the veteran Albert Pujols, hitting at .238, 5 homers and 19 driven in. Last year, he had .285 with 30 homers and 105 RBIs. Takes first pitch strike.
You always say the better the hitter, and Albert's been a great hitter. The more you have to go inside. And in watching Albert over the years, there is only one spot that you can consistently get him, and that is inside off the plate.
I'll tell you, we've seen an awful lot over the years of Albert Pujols because of the fact he's been on so many highlight reels.
Yep.
And I have never seen him yet, in all the times that I've seen him, which are hundreds of times on the highlight, take an inside fastball, hit it hard, keep it fair. Meanwhile, nice inning for Dillon. 1-2-3, and after half inning of play, it's their guys nothing, and our guys coming to bat.
It's going to be Diaza leading off, then Keppinger, Rios, Adam Dunn at first, with Paulie the DH, Gillespie, Viciedo, Ramirez, and Flowers rounded out. The defense, and now the lineup behind Enright. It's Shuck, Trout, and Hamilton in the outfield, with Chiasmo, Harris, Kendrick, and Trumbo in the infield. Hank Conger, who struggled defensively behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Barry Enright. 0-1 ERA and even 9. Hasn't had all that much of a shot this year, originally with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Second round pick in 2007.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Here's Diaza. Takes first pitch strike from the 27-year-old, 6'3", 220-pound right-hander. Now resides in Chandler, Arizona.
Can't look for too much on the fastball from Enright because he'll top out at 90.
Very quickly, 0-2.
Young man enjoying a cold drink on a very cold night. Surprised it's not icy.
38 degrees as we speak. Now 39.
It's getting warmer.
Now field around to the left. And that's low. As we speak, Tigers leading Cleveland 4-2. That's in the top of the fourth at Comerica Park. Scherzer against Kluber. 2-2 pitch. High and deep. Stretch. Stretch. Get on back there. He's at the fence. Jumps. You can put it on the board. Yes. A leadoff homer from Alejandro Diaz, and the Sox take a quick 1-0 lead.
7th home run, 15th driven in. Enright doesn't have a whole lot, and the Sox hitters will probably show that to him tonight. Our forward home run replay, a towering drive to right field. Hamilton leaps up, can't get it. And just like that, an early lead. Reminiscent of New York.
Indeed it is. He led off the game on Wednesday against Hefner with a homer. That's his 7th leadoff homer. Kevinger at 191, no homers. He's driven in 6. Breaking ball way out of the zone. One-two pitch.
Enright's breaking ball is a slider, so mostly he'll go with fastball slider change.
So Diaz is the first White Sox player to hit back-to-back leadoff homers since Kenny Lofton did it back in July of 2002.
It's been a while.
Two-two pitch. There's a shot, base hit. And with 1-0, nobody out, 1 in. Let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jim and Joe, our director and crew, they're going with Comerica. Steve is going with That I'm Done. And the Italian Connection. Mike Spadali, Pete Catazone, Mike Nazar, the Bertucci boys. We'll even throw Tommy Sheridan in there, even though he's Australian. We're going to go with Viciedo. So here's Rios. Alex at 274, 8 homers and 17 knocked in. Just a short lead by Keppinger.
And Conger is going to have some problems blocking low pitches, and if any of the base stealers on his ball club get a chance, they're going to run on the combination of Enright and Conger.
Well, I was talking with some Angel people prior to the game. They said he is 1-9 to the plate. So that bodes well for our base stealers.
Seeing as 1-3 is major league average, there's a few guys revving up their engines.
Outfield for the most part straight up, spread out. And he just threads the outside corner.
Conger wants it away, and Enright gets it right there.
Nothing Sox here in the bottom of the first if you're just tuning in. Enright out of Pepperdine. That ball hit hard, but Hamilton is there. One down. And that'll bring up Adam Dunn. Adam has faced Enright 6 times, has a couple of hits.
And from what we've seen so far, Enright has got to keep the ball down to be successful, but that's Adam's strength. Now the question will become, does Enright go with his strength against Dunn's strength, or will he go to his weakness against Dunn's weakness? Normally, for the pitcher, that doesn't work out that well.
No, that's the chicken or the egg. Sales and production, the constant battle.
That pitch was down, but it was in a perfect spot. It was low and away. And Adam not going to go out there to get it, especially early in the count.
I think in the scenario you're talking about, it's up to the pitcher to, for the most part, make the adjustment.
Well, I think what most pitchers will do is they'll go with their strength first and see if the hitter is better than they are in a given spot. If he proves to you he's better, then you got to go to his weakness.
That ball hit into center field. Trout is there. He just missed that one. So 2 down. And here's Konerko. Paulie at 224, 4 homers and 16 knocked in.
Sox this year an even 500 at home. The Angels under 500 at home at 7-9, but just abysmal on the road. And it's been the West that's really gotten to them.
Took that pitch nicely.
American League West, the Angels are 7-15 in their own division. And at 12-22, they find themselves 9 games in back of Texas. Much to the dismay of the man you were just looking at, Mike Scioscia.
There's a strike. Well, at this point in time, there's not a whole bunch he can do about it.
There's nothing he can do until, number one, Weaver comes back from a fractured elbow. That's certainly hurting the rotation. The bullpen has not been getting the job done, and his big boys in the middle haven't hit. So when you have that, it's tough to beat people.
Two balls and a strike to Paulie.
When your team is going through what the Angels have been going through, is there anything a manager can do except sit back and wait it out and see if you're actually better than what you've been doing?
Sit back just like he's doing right now and watch a game. No magic moves.
And hope the big boys can hit.
Yeah. Well, you brought up the thing in the opening, though. Is that ball, he got a cookie right there, missed it. Trout. But the leadoff homer by Diaz. After one, it is 1-0 good guys. That's Dan Hayes from CSNChicago.com, and we understand you had a chance to talk with Rick Hahn.
Yeah, Rick spoke at length before the game today, and when he got in the dugout, obviously he's very disappointed with the way things have started. I mean, you kind of expect the offense to be a little bit better, the defense, but he's kind of trying to avoid pushing the panic button because at this point you're 32 games into your season, and I think that when you're there, I mean, obviously you'd like to fix all the things that have gone wrong, but at the same time you have to kind of let things play out, and he's done a good job of trying to avoid that. That's something, especially when you get Dion Viciedo back today, and you hope to get Gordon Beckham and John Danks back in the next 2 weeks. You kind of have to be cognizant of that, the fact that your opening day lineup has only played together 6 times, and still you're 4 games under 500. So, obviously he'd like to see them playing better, but kind of holding off on trying to fix things.
Well, it looks to me like, I'll tell you one thing, that if Detroit and the other teams in this division keep letting us hang around until we get healthy, we're going to give somebody some problems. Yeah,
I mean, you're also looking at a point right now where the White Sox have faced some pretty good pitching so far, and over the next 20 here, I think the best, the Red Sox obviously are pretty good coming up, but you have 4 teams that are below 8th or below in ERA. The Cubs, they're the highest in ERA in the NL at 8. You got the Twins. You've got 7 against the Angels, who are struggling with their pitching, and the Miami Marlins in there.
Trumbo with an 0-2 count. And that ball's Tommy hawked into right field, but we got a man there, and that's out number 1. Trumbo, one of the 2 guys on this team that's been bailing him out some, Trumbo and Kendrick. But it's really good to have Viciedo back.
25 home runs and 78 RBIs last year. Also, I know, Steve, that we've talked about how Diaz now is back in center field where he's much more comfortable with Viciedo in left, and it's a pretty big deal for the defense.
I think it's really going to help his hitting, because I do believe that he was having some problems in left field, but this is his natural spot, and hopefully this type of weather is not going to bother Viciedo coming back from that oblique, because he can't regulate his swing. He's got 1 speed, and that's really hard.
Yeah, he mentioned he does feel good. He said the weather, he can't control it, so he's just going to go out there and play. But he feels like he got a good little stretch there with the 16 plate appearances at Charlotte.
Well, it appears to me that Rick Hahn is exercising something in his rookie year as GM, and that's called patience.
That's got to be a tough thing to do to him, and it's the first time in that seat, and things just haven't gone to plan so far. But he is definitely holding on.
Josh Big Hat can't get it. Well, Dan, thanks for checking in, buddy, and we'll look forward to you in our next one.
All right, thanks a lot.
Dan Hayes, CSNChicago.com. He gone.
When you're really struggling, you'll expand that strike zone and swing at just about everything. And take a look at this last pitch. It's a fastball. He could have been standing on the plate and not be able to catch up with that one. And the struggles of Hamilton continue.
So here's Kendrick at 306. 5 homers. He's knocked in 17.
Here's a guy who can really hit the ball to right center field. Howie Kendrick, a terrific hitter. One of the few of the Angels that has been consistently hitting the baseball all year long.
And there's another shot off the bat of Kendrick, who's going to be in there for a base hit. Good play by Alex. Hold him to a single. Yeah, he's been swinging the bat well. He's been barreling it up.
And that is his spot. Right center field. He'll take this fastball. It's right down the middle. Good contact, not trying to pull it. Alex does a nice job of cutting it off, and knowing that Kendrick is a pretty aggressive base runner, gets it in quickly.
One of 2 switch hitters, Callaspo. Alberto hitting at 264, a couple of homers. He's driven in 8.
Callaspo, right-handed, hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity, but he's hitting 462 as opposed to 200 as a left-hand hitter.
Ball hit hard but foul. Kendrick 3 for 4 in stolen bases. There's a nice pitch. Keeping him off balance. That's what he does. Our crafty right-hander. And after an inning and a half, he leads it 1-0.
Take down Joe Mauer and the Twins in Minnesota. It's White Sox Twins Monday night at 7 on Comcast Sports Net.
Sox lead at 1-0. Leadoff homer by Alejandro De Aza. So here in the second, it'll be Gillespie, Viciedo, and Ramirez. Gillespie at .291, 3 homers. He's driven in 7. Threads that outside corner.
Connor's done a terrific job. I was watching today in the batting cage, and Gordon Beckham was hitting off a tee. So he's made the next step in his rehab, and will be back hopefully in the not too distant future.
Breaking ball off the end of the bat. Well, needless to say, we need it. He is a huge part of this ball club.
Well, you don't realize just what one excellent defender does when you lose him and everybody has to shift into a different spot. And with Gordon playing second base, there's a lot of responsibilities, not only catching ground balls and covering second base, but also on relay throws. And he's got a very strong arm at second, and that's something a lot of people forget on balls into right center and down the line and right.
So here's Tank at .229, a couple of homers. He's driven in 5. And he's got the 2-0 count. Well, I've mentioned this before. In 1978, I saw a Red Sox team lose their shortstop the day before the All-Star break. They had a 14.5 game lead over the Yankees, and when they did, the rhythm was broken. The Yankees came back and caught them, and then won a World Series. That was Rick Burleson.
He was terrific. He, along with Jerry Remy, pretty good combination in the middle.
He hadn't cut down on a swing any. 2-2.
And that's also the one pitch that gave him all kinds of problems before he went on the DL, and that's the high fastball up and out of the zone.
If in fact he can learn how to lay off that pitch, which I have my doubts, as that's out number 2, it'll be a while yet. And while we have a moment, we'll send out a big White Sox hello and hope you're feeling better, buddy, to our good buddy Alex Snellius. A little under the weather. Thinking about you Alex? So here's Alexei at 261, a homer he's driven in 5. Takes first pitch strike. There's a 3-hopper. Brendan Harris right over the top with a good peg. So a 1-2-3 inning, and after 2, it's still 1-0.
To be the queen of community relations. And Christine, once again, it's Family Field Day and a garage sale. So tell our fans just exactly what's going on.
Thanks, Steve. Next Saturday, May 18th, it's a great event for families. We open up the field. The team's on the road, as you know, but we open up the field, and people can come out and have a catch in the outfield, go into the bullpens and the dugouts, visit the clubhouse. It's a great opportunity for people to, kind of spend some time where their favorite players play on the field. It's a great, affordable family activity. It's just $30 for adults and $12 for kids. We start at 9:30 in the morning and we go till 1. And again, it's just a great time to come out and have some fun out there.
And for all the folks who have seen the field strictly from the stands, you can't really believe what it's actually like to be down there and see how well Roger Bossard has it manicured and just exactly how beautiful it is when you get a chance to stand on the field and then look back at the seats.
Yep.
You get a feeling of what it's like to be a major leaguer.
Well, you stand out in deep center field, and then you're like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of ground to cover out here. So you're exactly right. I love it though, And what's so cool, Steve, is it's not only moms and dads with their kids, but always at Family Field Day, there's somebody an adult who's there with their aging parent because they want to bring their parent back out to have a special experience because it was their parent who brought them to the first game. But I swear to God, it's always the adults who are doing like the Willie Mays catch into the wall. I know they probably can't lift their hands over their head the next day, but it's a lot of fun, so you can live your dreams here. Again, it's next Saturday, and I guarantee you the weather will be great.
Let's also talk about garage sale and just exactly, obviously you can't buy a garage. What can you buy?
Yeah, everything. The joke in the office is don't throw it away. Give it to Chicago White Sox charities. We sell publications, baseballs, bats, jerseys, hats, equipment bags, catcher's gear. All sorts of items, furniture, chairs out of the clubhouse. It's a really cool way for somebody. And Father's Day's coming up. Mother's Day's right around the corner. So, you're always like, oh my gosh, my parents, they have everything. Or a graduation gift for a really big White Sox fan. It's so fun to come and get that personal White Sox memorabilia.
Well, hopefully our fans will take advantage of it. And Christine, wonderful to see you again.
Thanks. People can go online to whitesox.com, Steve. All the information is there. They can buy tickets for the field sessions. Garage sale's totally free. So come on out on Saturday. We'll be here starting at 9:30 in the morning.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Leadoff double there by Hank Conger. His third of the season. So some trouble brewing right here in the top of the third. Sox lead it 1-0. Brendan Harris has a job to do. Got the corners in close. And there's the strike.
Harris has been around a long time. Played with a few different teams. Always gives you a pretty good effort. And he can play third, he can play short, he can play second. And I'm pretty sure if he had to, he could play the outfield spots, except perhaps for center.
That's going to get it done. There's a chopper. Base hit. So runners into corners and nobody out.
Probably not what Harris intended to do, because had Alexei been playing close to the hole, even if in fact it was a base hit, Conger would still be at second. But he was playing up the middle. And now Dylan Axelrod has some problems.
Got to forget about the man at third. And here's the leadoff hitter, J.B. Shuck, who grounded out softly to second. That's not softly there. That's hit hard. But we got a guy there. Makes a nice catch. Rios. Beautiful. Got a good jump and ran it down.
Fourth run batted in for Shuck, who got most of that one. On another night, that's probably out of the ballpark. But tonight, with the cold and the wind, Alex is able to run it down with a couple of feet to spare. Good concentration as he nears the wall. Every outfielder knows as soon as he hits the warning track, he probably has 2, maybe 2.5 steps to go before he gets to that wall. And he was able to make the play. Now a double play gets you out of the inning. But you got Trout up.
And he can run. Alexei made a good play to get him. Takes first pitch strike.
Corey Blazer is giving an inch or so off the outside corner. We saw it against Pujols. We've seen it against all the other hitters, and it's not a bad idea to try to take advantage of it.
Back through the middle base hit. So Harris will pull up at second. And that'll bring up Pujols.
Meaning at the mound. Ramirez in with Flowers. They're talking about, number one, who's going to cover on a ball hit right back at Axelrod. Number two, how they're going to work Pujols. They worked him exclusively away the first time up in the first inning.
Pujols grounded out softly to second himself. So 1 in, game tied at 1, 1 out, and 2 on. That ball hit into left center field, and nobody's going to get that one. It's going to score a pair.
Unfortunately, Diazic could not get a grip on it. If he did, Trout stays at third base as it was. We'll see if it's a 2-base hit and an error, or if it's a straight 2-base hit. Pujols hits it ball pretty hard. Diazic can't get to it, but then he makes the mistake. And it is a double, an RBI, and E8.
So here's Trumbo. He tommyhawked a line shot into right field last inning leading off. So 4 hits this inning.
RBI number 20 for Pujols.
Trumbo last year hit .268, 32 homers, and drove in 95. This guy's got a chance to be really good.
There were a whole lot of people that came to the Angels as Mark Trumbo was coming up through their system. They wanted to trade for this guy. But the Angels had some patience. And it certainly has paid off.
And there's a base hit. They're going to wave him around. So a 4 spot. And they're still hitting with 1 out.
RBI number 26 for Trumbo. That's a curveball. It's out of the strike zone. Tremendous plate coverage. All he wanted to do was get the bat on the ball in defensive mode. That's going to bring Don Cooper out from the dugout to talk with Axelrod, who's been shocked here in the 3rd inning.
And while they're having that little confab, tickets for the season are on sale right now. Prices have been greatly reduced for nearly all the games, and the schedule is full of great matchups, promotional nights, family Sundays, and post-game fireworks. So purchase your tickets by visiting WhiteSox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
This is an Angel lineup that really hasn't hit to this point, but is going to hit. They got too many good hitters in the lineup not to produce a whole lot of runs. It's been a mystery to this point why they haven't been able to do it.
That ball high into left field. Viciedo. 2 down. Hamilton now 0 for 2, a strikeout, and a pop up to left.
Did you find yourself, as you were in a slump? Now, I know you didn't get in many, but, you know, a few. Did you find yourself over anxious at the plate, trying to get out of it with each and every at bat?
I played 9 years for the most part in a slump, but I had some moments, and the reason I had some moments was because when you're in a slump, you're in between. There's nothing wrong with your swing that bad, and when you're in a slump, it's between the years, and that's where you got to find a way. You know, guys, in my opinion, work on the wrong things. When you're thinking from the plate back, that means you're thinking mechanics. And when you're thinking mechanics facing Major League pitching, you're going to be in between. There's a strike. Kendrick, solid single to right center.
Well, you've seen Hamilton tonight in 2 at-bats. He swung at a pitch way out of the zone. That time went after the first pitch. Probably not a pitch that he wanted to handle, but because he's been immersed in a slump, looks like he's ready to swing at just about everything.
That's what happens with him. He's a very streaky hitter. He always has been.
No doubt.
And when he gets in a bad streak, he absolutely looks like he's never had a bat in his hand. And when he gets in a good streak, he looks like Josh Hamilton.
That's exactly what Ron Washington, who has been his manager these last few years in Texas with the Rangers, said there are some times when he starts to hit where he'll carry your whole ball club, and sometimes it can be for 3 weeks or a month.
Oh, yeah.
That there's other times that he looks like literally he belongs in Class A.
Well, He started off really good last year.
No doubt.
You know, the 4 homers in one game. He wound up hitting 43 homers, driving in 128. But he had a period after that hot start that he cooled off. He looked just like he did in that first at bat for a long time. He gone, but some damage is done. The crooked number goes up there, and they lead it 4-1. At the Gate 5 Plaza, Bacardi at the Park offers a full menu from Gibson's Restaurant Group and opens 4 hours prior to all home games. Bacardi at the Park. Grab your friends and give them a visit. First of 3 in this series, and first of 3 on this brief, very brief homestand. It's off to Minnesota for 3 and Los Angeles for 4.
It is Cinco after Cinco de Mayo, May 10th. A lot of celebrations down on the field before the game.
Kyler takes that pitch outside. Count evens at 1.
You'd love to answer back with at least 1, possibly 2 runs against a starting pitcher who is only starting because Tommy Hanson is on bereavement leave. Barry Enright getting the call and hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity this year to show what he can do.
Well, we got plenty of time in this game. Plenty of time. But you're right. It'd be nice to pick up at least 1. Breaking ball popped up. Now Hamilton calls off Kendrick.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's for the second time in as many games. Alejandro Diaz leads it off with a home run. His 7th, and the 7th time that he's led off a game with a home run. At that point, things were looking real good.
Yes, indeedy. Then there were 2 more line drives after the solid single by Keppinger. But that was it.
That's one of the few curveballs that Enright has thrown tonight. Second time through the order, he wants to give the hitters a different look. He went fastball slider the first time through.
Fakes the bunt. Caught Kai Aspo back just a little bit.
Had some problems in that first inning with a couple of hits and a couple of hard hit balls, and after that what our offense usually does is swing at everything. And they did in the second.
Rolls over on that one. Good job by Trumbo.
Just a reminder, as you look to enjoy a cold one, it's Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Here's Keppinger. He's singled.
Mentioned a good job by Trumbo, and number one, it could have bounded off his glove or two. Been a very difficult play, but he knew where Kendrick was, and he just let it go.
A lot easier on the pitcher. Just ate him up right there. That didn't take long. 1, 2, 3. He's retired 9 in a row.
Brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos, Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Mas.
And Sox fans, first 20,000 fans on Saturday, May 25th, will receive a 1983 White Sox cap presented by the Private Bank. The Private Bank. The bank for business, the bank for life.
And
they hung
candy.
a 4 spot on us in the top of the third. Callaspo bounced back softly to the pitcher. Two and 0 the count.
Angels sent 8 men to the plate in the third inning. A rough one for Dylan Axelrod.
And that's into right center field. 1 out. Bottom of the 5th in Detroit. Tigers leading Cleveland 8-2. Oh, we have a moment. We'll send a big White Sox hello to Peter Eschenbach and a large group of the Eschenbachs. He's a 4th grader from St. Joe's School in Downers Grove. And they're using Adam Dunn's suite tonight to enjoy this game. And hopefully, come on, Peter, now we got to all get together and pull for a White Sox victory.
Go ahead and eat as much as you can, because Adam would like it that way.
Yes, he would.
Hank Conger, selected in the first round, 25th pick overall in 2006. Had a tough time establishing himself in the major leagues. Came in with a .201 lifetime batting average. but they're giving him another shot.
Well, Miguel Cabrera is picking up where he left off last year. He's got 40 RBIs in the first 33 games. He did not go. 40 RBIs in the first 33 games.
There is no doubt that Prince Fielder is a very good hitter behind him, but I'm not sure if you have an opportunity why guys pitch to Cabrera at all.
Me either. I mean, it just boggles my mind. Unless you've got somebody who can pitch him inside, because from the middle out, he is devastating. The only other Tiger who's had 40 RBIs in the first 33 games was Hank Greenberg. Back in 19 and 37.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, you cannot let Cabrera beat you. I don't care if Fielder hits 50 and drives in 150. You cannot let Cabrera beat you. And he's going to beat you because they're going to pitch, try to go away with him, and he's just going to sit there and smile.
Well, you got a Triple Crown winner and an MVP for a body of work over 6 months, but take a look at what he's done over his entire career, and you realize that sometimes that guy with the bat might be a little bit better than you are, and you pitch around him. Let him get himself out or put him on first base.
Yeah, if you can't pitch him inside, you're going to get beat. There he goes. Pitch fouled away. Said it before, and I'll say it again. The best three right-handed hitters to come into the American League in the last 50 years have been Frank Thomas, Manny Ramirez, and Miguel Cabrera.
There is a look at Big Frank.
There he goes. He gone.
He was out by plenty. And a pretty good pitch in that the fastball was up under the chin of Harris. The only thing he could do is get out of the way. And Mark Parent, who calls a lot of different things, realized that probably there was a hit and run on. That ball got there. I know it was slow motion, but it got there good 5 steps ahead of Conger.
Two out, 2-1 to count. That ball hit hard. Nobody's going to get that one. And it is 5-1. Third homer for Harris.
He's now driven in 6. And that was a line drive rocket. That's a hanging curveball. Our Ford home run replay. Hanging curveballs even on cold nights go out of the yard. And that one just made it.
So here's Shuck. Grounded to second, then had a sacrifice fly last inning. So Dillon, who has really pitched well for us, making his 7th start. His first 6, he only had 1 bad outing, 5 good ones. And he's having a rough one tonight.
Don Cooper is going over his sheets to see who worked when and how many innings they worked. If he has to take Axelrod out of the game, then he will determine who he wants to be first out of the chute, and that will have a great deal to do with what the score is when that happens.
2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, he did. He gone. But the home run by Harris will go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing by 4.
Sportsnet for Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Who'll the Hawks play in the next round of the NHL playoffs? I don't know. And get the inside look at the newest crop of Bears rookies. Don't miss Sportsnet Central tonight after Bulls postgame live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. I think they are hoping for the Wings, but will probably get the Sharks. And congratulations to them. Great night last night against the Wild.
They're just exciting. They're good. And the best part about it, they know it.
Got to have that arrogance, especially in that game.
They know they're good. They just go out there and execute. That's all. Here's a rocket. A good way to start here. Get through. Get through. He's going to give it a go. Here's the throw. No. 6-2 bagger for Alex.
Hamilton has a very good arm, but with the play in front of him, Alex knows that Hamilton is going away from the throw. He's a left-hander. He's going to have to take a few extra steps to get the ball, to settle in to make the throw. And this is just a hustle double. The third hit of the night. And you got to chip away at Enright and get into that Angel bullpen.
Well, that breaks the streak of 9 in a row retired by Barry Enright. Here's Adam. He lined out to center field. Time is called by the catcher.
Here's our Lowe's Never Stop Improving stat of the night. First 20 games, our Sox not much with runners in scoring position. Last 12 games, it's turned around completely, hitting a robust .284. More reminiscent of the team of last year than the team of this early season.
Well, after 30 games this year, this being our 33rd, after 30 games this year, we were 13-17. Last year, after 30 games, we were 13-17.
Just have to get the walking wounded back and ready to go.
Also in '83, winning ugly team. When we wound up winning 99 games after 30 games, we were 13-17. What we have to do, in my opinion, is first of all what you just mentioned. Second of all, start getting some decent weather. I feel bad for our guys. I'll tell you, they have just. This has been the longest cold streak that I have seen our Sox go through ever. Not just ever. I mean, ever.
I talked to Paulie about it before the game, and he said, look, the philosophy that I've always had here is I expect this in April and May. If I get anything but this, I'm particularly happy. So when I get it, I'm not surprised. 41 degrees at game time. It's been shifting between 39 and 42. Not the greatest hitting weather, but you might have a man on the mound that will give up a few. So it's very early in this one. A lot of outs to go.
2-2 pitch. It's full. Well, it's one thing. You got to have a mindset that you expect it, and hopefully you don't mind it. But then on the other side of that page, to execute is a different story.
Yeah, it's not easy. As a pitcher, I love to pitch in this weather because hitters don't want to hit the ball on their hands.
Yes, good job by Adam. Just to fight that one off. Well, yesterday, on our off day, I went out to hit some balls. I was going to hit, 75 or 80. I wound up hitting about 30 because I started sweating. It was so hot. And today we have to play.
Where'd you fly to Orlando?
We have to play today now.
Yes.
Get to the ballpark at 40 degrees. Unreal. And there's ball 4. So something cooking here in the bottom of the 4th.
Nice at bat by Adam because it was a backdoor breaking ball that he just barely got a piece of to stay alive at 3-2, and then right through and well wide of the plate, sending Conger to the mound. And Paulie, who's got to start picking it up and most likely will, hit the ball well the first time, but to the deepest part of the ballpark. And now Corey Blazer going out to break up the conclave at the mound.
Well, actually, the guy who has hit the ball the hardest as far as having this weather take things away from him have been Alex Rios. Alex has had more than several home runs here in this ballpark taken away from him because of the wind. And the chill factor being sometimes, well, it was 38 degrees when he hit it with a huge wind. Probably wind chill factor was, I don't know, 30, 28.
Well, he just happened to hit it to the wrong part of the ballpark, and yes, he did on the appeal to Jeff Nelson. Paulie went around. So first pitch slider out of the zone. Here's our AT&T UVerse replay. Very good speed at second. And Adams at first.
Good eye right there. Count evens at 1.
Hamilton's got a very good arm in right field, so you've got to be careful if you're going to test him. But Joe McEwing will run on Shuck and Trout. Trout plays a very deep center field. He's way back there.
Well, Paulie, he's done a job with runners in scoring position. 9 for 21.
Pretty good. considering the start the team got off to this year.
Yeah, it is. And then you take the other side, is when there's nobody on, Paulie, and the way we've been hitting, he's gotten out of his psyche, so to speak. He's tried to hit some long balls, put a quick point on the board, which is understandable. That's his job. Well, with nobody on, he's hitting 150.
It's not surprising. I mean, Paulie's been a run producer his whole life. Run producers, just like closers, they have that adrenaline rush. When they have a runner in scoring position, you concentrate more. It's only natural. Also, Paulie will use right field a lot more with runners in scoring position. That makes for a man who's going to drive in a lot. And he has done that over the course of his career.
The 2-1 pitch.
This is a pretty good pitch. Paulie's not real happy with the call, but it had the plate. It's not where Conger catches it. It's where it came over the plate, and it came over a strike. But that's very much a pitcher's pitch. If you don't have to swing, you don't swing at that one because that's got ground ball to shortstop written all over it.
Close. Close.
Yes, and a break. I think if Hank Conger had not yanked it up about 3 inches, might have gotten the benefit of the call. But sends the count full.
Two on, nobody out. We trail it 5-1 here in the bottom of the fourth, and the payoff pitch. And that will load him up.
Well, I think it's time to see Mike Butcher come out of that dugout. He's not. There he is.
Gillespie will be the hitter. Sacks packed with socks. No outs.
Mike Butcher celebrating his 48th birthday.
While they're having their chit-chat, get real-time info, including pitcher gas gauge, stats, tweets, with Sox in-game live only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class. Nobody up down in the Angel pen.
Last thing that Mike Scioscia wants to do after a 4-hour and 8-minute extravaganza at Houston last night is go to that bullpen early in this one. It's Mark Lowe loosening up in the pen. And he has had his share of problems. A 9-point ERA in 8 games.
All right, Connor, he's the guy in trouble, not you, buddy. That breaking ball a little too quick, yanks it foul.
Paulie at first, Adam at second, Alex at third, with a chance to bite into this 4-run lead.
Trout shading him over to the left. And that pitch down low to even the count at 1. The ball, a strike, nobody out.
Happy birthday to our manager of media relations, Ray Garcia, celebrating a birthday this evening. So he has something in common with Mike Butcher. They both arrived in Chicago today.
And now, 2-1. Desiato on deck.
One place you'll have to be careful is a fly ball to right field, especially if Hamilton has a chance to set up. If you do move him to his left or right, you can run on it.
Three and one. Don't help him out. Lowe just got up, so he has not thrown. Now he's starting to throw a little harder. He was just soft tossing there. Catbird seat. The 3-1 pitch.
That ball possibly top of the strike zone. It would have been debatable one way or the other. But Connor with one strike, thinking he could drive this one, fouled it off.
Ball four base hit right here, Connor. And that pitch is popped up and fouled.
Good effort by Chiasmo. He doesn't have the greatest speed around, but he gave it everything he had. That ball slicing at the last instant. This ball was a strike, and Gillespie able to foul it off and enjoy yet another life.
So a redo.
Adam is taking a look at all of the outfielders and where they're setting up while he's standing out at second base.
Good rip, just underneath it.
Conger wants it away, and Enright was very lucky to get away with this because he missed his spot by about a foot. And Gillespie, on the 7th pitch of the at-bat, fouls it straight back.
Another good rip.
Top of the strike zone again. As you can see, he's been working him inside, and he's been working him at the top end of the zone.
Now he wants him to start again. Rios at third, Dunn at second, Paulie at first. Now once again the 3-2.
And a pretty good battle right here. Gillespie and Enright. Enright just keeps pumping strikes, and Connor keeps fouling him away. Enright was sailing right along through 3, but he's run into a speed bump here in the 4th.
So this will be the 25th pitch. Still nobody out. They are taking a long time hooking up. And here we go again.
That one a little too close to take. And Corey Blaser rung him up. So a steady diet of pitches up. Now he stays down. And that one caught part of the zone.
So 1 out. And here's Tank. Struck out his first trip. Tank making his first start since a rehab down at Charlotte.
He would love to see one waist high or below.
Breaking ball, 0-1 to count. Short and quick. Come on, Tank. Cannot let this guy off the hook. And very quickly, nothing in 2. So he's in the deep hole.
Well, he's going to the face-high fastball. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't think with Rios at third, you want to go to a curveball in the dirt.
Breaking ball.
Conger did a nice job of blocking it. And it looked like Enright was going to shake it off, and Conger tried to give him confidence. Gave him a little nod saying this is a pitch.
So a big spot in this ball game right here. Ball gets away. Here comes Alex. He's going to score. Yes.
Well, we told you Conger's had some problems with his defense catching. At that time on a ball I don't believe was in the dirt, he tried to backhand it. And we'll see how it's ruled. It should be ruled. Well, probably ruled a wild pitch. It hit before it, but this is a play that if you don't backhand it, you're going to be able to make the play. As he gets away, it makes it a 3-run game.
And a 2-2 count.
That was ruled a wild pitch.
He had a good one to hit and fouls it back.
He's thrown everything down this at bat, which should play right into the hands of Isiedo.
That last pitch was the one. And now full count. So you had him 0-2.
Ramirez in the on-deck circle.
All four base hit right here. That ball hit hard into the gap, and nobody's going to get it. That's going to score a pair on the double by Tank. Can they say 5-4 ball game? Yes. Getting me over breaking ball on 3-2.
Pretty hard to believe that in that entire at-bat, Hank Conger did not call for one high fastball.
It's unbelievable.
He throws him a breaking ball. Probably going to be the last pitch that he throws. He didn't shake off Conger. He cannot win this one. He cannot lose this one. But it goes from a 5-1 to a 5-4 game. And so as Enright walks out and Lowe comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. Call to the pen. It's a one-run game with the tying run out at second base, and Mark Lowe comes into this one 1-0 ERA and even 9 walks in 8 innings. So I guess you could say control has been a factor. Nobody's hitting him very well, but most of them don't have to if he can't get the ball over the plate.
3-2 getting me over and hit hard by Viciedo. Viciedo, the Italian connection. Thanks, Vidali. Pete Catazone, Mike Mazza, the Bertucci boys, and throwing the Australian Tommy Sheridan.
Yeah, but without that done walk, could have never driven in 2. Don't forget that.
All right, Senator. Can I check it up? Alexei grounded out to short his first trip. He's 0 for 1. Lifetime against Lowe. Pick him up.
That one got a piece of Conger. Hank is testing out his jaw to see if it's still hinged. That can't feel too good.
Five, 7-0 for them. 4-4-1 for us. And both those walks have scored. 1-2.
Low with the Mariners and the Rangers before coming here with the Angels. Trying to establish himself in their pen.
Well, when he first came up with Seattle, he could rush it up there with the best of them.
Hit a great arm.
Oh.
Just a great arm.
Softly hit. But a crooked number goes up on that board. We'll go to the 5th. It is now. Oh, check that. Just 2 outs. So here is Tyler. Grounded out to short. Come on, Tyler, pick him up. Let's get this thing tied up. Outfield straight up. Or going something in the dirt.
As hard as he still throws, he could very well throw one away. He's had in 8 previous innings 2 wild pitches.
One and one to count. Just joining us, we scored 1 in the first, leadoff homer by Alejandro De Aza. They put a 4th spot in the 3rd, added 1 in the 4th, and we have 3 so far here in the 4th. And that's outside, so 2 balls in the strike. And 3-1. Alejandro on deck.
Yeah, you'd love to bring Diaz up this inning. Herm Schneider talking with Robin. Herm's been the busiest man in show business in the early season. Too busy.
Yeah. Yep. There's a shot base hit. This game is tied at 5. That boy Tyler.
Well, 3-1 count. And you're looking at only one thing. It's a fastball. You'd prefer it middle in. And that's RBI number 11 as he got the pitch right where he could hammer it. Conger wants it away, but Lowe gets it on the inner portion. And Tyler smokes it.
So here's Alejandro, that homer, and a grounder to second. Takes first pitch strike. That one at 92. And that's a strike.
Very top part of the strike zone that time. It wasn't too far inside, but Alejandro thought it was up. Close the book on Enright at 3 1/3 innings, 5 runs on 4 hits. Walk 2, fan 2. And he can't win, nor can he lose this one.
This is tying our highest run production in an inning this year. Been done 3 times. The 4 runs. Yeah, things were not looking real good there until that double by Viciado. Because
of some very questionable pitch selection.
I'm happy they stayed right with it.
Yep. Stay with that curveball.
And that's outside. So a full count.
And the advantage of Tyler being able to run. Trumbo playing way back of him at first base. So he can get as big a lead as he wants. And Jeff Keppinger, if Diaz can keep it alive.
Chopper back through the middle, and it's going to be a base hit off the glove of Harris. So now runners at the corners, and that'll bring up Keppinger.
Good base running by Tyler Flowers. He was off, got a good break, and then with a play right in front of him, he saw Harris dive, realizing that ball was going to be so far away that nobody was going to be able to get to it. And it brings the birthday boy, Mike Butcher, out again. Tyler with very good speed for a catcher.
And the ninth hitter to come to the plate here. Don't stop now, boys. Keppinger has singled and he got jammed, hit a little looper to the shortstop. Alejandro 5 for 5 in stolen bases. Has just a decent lead. Five, 7-0 for the Halos. 5, 6-1 for our Sox.
Conger's had a few problems throwing out base runners, so we'll see if Diaz is going to take off. Not with that lead, most likely.
Malachi Aspo. There he goes. Ball backhanded by Harris right over the top in time. But a big crooked number goes up on the board, and we are tied at 5. Available right now, and prices for most plans have been greatly reduced for the season. So visit WhiteSox.com or call 312-674-1000.
Dylan Axelrod's been sitting on that bench a long time, so hopefully he took enough pitches to get loose because he's going through the heart of the order. And it gets tough in the middle.
It was back in the third inning. Trout, Pujols, and Trumbo all hit safely. 2 singles, a double, as there is ball 1.
Trout came in second in the MVP voting last year. Didn't start the season with the club, but what a lift he gave them. Matt Lindstrom loosening in the pen, just in case Dylan has some problems here in the 5th.
Trout last year, 30 homers, 83 knocked in. Stole 49 bases. Only thrown out 5 times. And he's the first Angel to have 30 homers and 30 or more stolen bases since Bobby Bonds.
He did that in 139 games.
2-2. This drops a slow curveball. And there's a souvenir right side. And that curveball's popped up. Had him way out in front. So 1 out. So here's Pujols. Had a double and scored a run back in the 3rd. Albert, out of the Dominican Republic, primarily raised by his grandmother. He lived in a single level, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house shared by 10 people.
Hard to believe he was a 13th round draft pick.
There's a curveball strike.
But he was. Scouting report at that point said an overweight hitter, and that's it. They didn't realize how good a glove he was going to have at first base before it was over.
Fastball fouled back when he was coming up. Growing up in the Dominican, he used a glove made from a milk carton. He gone.
Good changeup. It was right there. Albert just got outguessed. He's shaking his head, but it can't be because of location, because you're going to see this ball had the whole plate. He just plain got outguessed. Well, the few straight changes that Dylan has shown to a very talented middle of the order.
That is the first one that he has shown to the middle of the order.
Picked a good time to show it, and a good man to show it too.
So here's Trumbo. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Jams himself on that breaking ball, Keppinger. So after having the game tied for him, he comes right back with a 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway home, tied at 5. Here's the man that started off that 4-run fourth. Alex Rios doubled into right center. Takes first pitch strike. And that's out of play right side. So very quickly, 2 strikes. 0-2 the count to Alex. 42 degrees as we speak.
It's warming up, and so are the hitters.
Man, these guys have really had a tough go of it. One and two.
Trout shading Rios into right center field. The big gap in left center and down the line in left.
And it's 2-2.
You can see Shuck is well off the line. Trout into right center field. Hamilton straightaway right.
And that's slicing foul. John Lester pitched a 1-hit shutout against Toronto. 5-0 they won it. Lester now 5-0 with a 2.73 and only faced 28 guys in that game.
Remarkable comeback for Lester after a tough year last year.
There's a chopper, short hop, spin, a low throw, could not come up with it.
It's probably going to be a base hit. And Alex being told to get back to the bag by Daryl Boston. It didn't appear that he took a break. The break that the Angels got was that one hit the fence in front of the dugout. Goes as a base hit with Alex taking it back up the middle. Harris has some time here. The throw is down, and on the long hop, Trumbo can't corral it. Missed it cleanly.
So here's Adam, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And that was his 1,000th career run.
Harris is going to cover at second on what should be a stolen base opportunity.
First and 30, madam.
Conger to the mound once again. Got a little of Joe Mauer in him. Joe's never hesitated to go to the mound.
They have been having trouble all night locking up on a sign. close, but off the plate.
If Alex wants to go, it'll be here. As you just don't see many 1-0 pitchouts.
There he goes. Ground ball. Sucked up by Kendrick. And that's out number 1.
Good thing he was going, because if not, that was going to be a double play.
And a reminder, send us your comments on tonight's game through Twitter using hashtag White Sox Talk, and we'll read one back later in the game, and it just might be yours. All right, Paulie, pick him up. Paulie, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Angels last night played Houston in a 4-hour and 7-minute game.
And got in awfully late.
Well, the only game that we lost in the postseason in 2005 was to California, when they had to play 3 games in 3 different cities. And everybody said, well, they're going to be dead tired. We lost that game 3-2. Only game we lost in the postseason. Checks it up, takes a strike.
Well, for those of you who do some traveling, in a situation like this, getting in late last night is not going to really affect their ball club tonight. It would affect the team tomorrow night, if it's going to affect the team at all.
Well, I think guys are getting more and more used to it, because the schedule that teams are going to have this year, a lot of night getaway games. That's out of play, 1 and 2. Then coming in from New York, night before us, we had to fly around some weather, so we got in later than expected.
True.
Unfortunately, we had the off day, which was very much welcomed.
Unfortunately, we got the game in because the weather report was iffy. But when you only go to a place one time, and we'd only go to play the Mets in that 2-game series, you've got to get both of them in. You don't want to come back.
2 and 2. Yeah, the schedule has been very demanding on our guys. Starting with that road trip, 15 out of 18 away from home. That ball into right center field. Trout. Alex is tagging. There he goes. So 2 out with Rios. At third. And here is Gillespie. He's grounded to third and struck out.
Last time Alex was at third base, he was able to score on a ball that got by Conger. And if Lowe tries to throw that slider low and in, and if he throws it, that's probably where he's going to throw it. Conger has got to be sure that he gets down to block it, or this tie game is going to be broken.
Takes that one low. Make your plans to be with us tomorrow night. 6:10 start. Jose Quintana against the right-hander Jerome Williams. And on Sunday evening, that will be a night game. That's fouled away. Chris Sale against C.J. Wilson.
Jerome Williams has had a pretty good run out of the bullpen, has only one start this year. His ERA 3.16, so it's more than respectable.
Take him up, Connor. That's outside 2-1. That ball hit high and deep into left center field. Stretch! Stretch! Right in front of the State Farm sign hauls it in. And that'll retire the side. He just missed it. We'll go to the 6th, still tied at 5. Fundamentals deck at U.S. Cellular Field. You can interact with White Sox trainers, run the bases at the wiffle ball diamond, and test your swing at the batting cages. So purchase tickets by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Time now for our Firestone Extra Mile Index and its percentage of swings. As you can see, Josh Hamilton swings more than anybody in this league, with Francoeur, Pierzynski, Davis, and Hunter following in.
Hamilton has struck out and gone out to left.
And A.J. Pierzynski, if you haven't heard, has been moved to the disabled list for the Texas Rangers for only the second time in his career.
With that oblique. That was the worst looking oblique I've ever seen. Man, that thing had hemorrhaged.
I think it was the procedure that they tried to do to him.
Whatever it was.
That got it to bleed that much.
Man. That was ugly. Would not chase it.
Hamilton, as he did earlier, will chase the ball away.
Lays off that one.
1 year ago, he was all everything. This year, he's a lot richer.
He gone.
And that's the ball away. Second strikeout. Hamilton 0 for 3. This ball well off the plate, and it's almost a carbon copy of how Axelrod got him to lead off the second inning.
Here's Kendrick. He's 1 for 2. Boy, the more you see this guy play, the more you like him.
Been a terrific player since putting on that Angel uniform.
Took a little something off. That hook, 0-2. Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's pretty good in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings too. Usually in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, you're seeing some good stuff out there on that mound.
They believe they got a pretty good double play combination in Kendrick and Ibar. Ibar not playing this evening. Mike Scioscia, one of the best in the business, with more job security as far as years on his contract than probably any manager in the game. He is very highly paid, and deservedly so. Only this is not the kind of team that he would have envisioned. He likes fast teams, good defensive teams with strong pitching.
Two down. Now, something's amiss. You just don't think that. What you just said.
I think there's a few people in the decision-making process that help put this team together. And I'm not saying that they won't do it or they can't hit, because they will be able to hit. But they've got to straighten out their pitching situation, because even Weaver coming back is not quite enough to make up for a very porous bullpen.
Well, they can't pitch with Texas.
No. Well, very few.
Even with Weaver back, they can't pitch with Texas.
Very few teams. Right. There are very few teams can.
Yeah, but they're in their division, so they can't pitch with them. They can't pitch with Oakland.
Well, this year with a staff ERA of 4.66, they're not pitching with too many people.
Yeah, you give Scioscia some guys that can run a little bit, and he'll run you right out of the ballpark.
What he did so well for so many years, when year after year after year, these Angels were either dominant or right in the thick of things.
Ground ball. And that's another nice 1-2-3 inning for Axelrod. And after 5.5, we're tied at 5.
Postgame Live, presented by Orland Park Nissan. The Big Hurt, Frank Thomas joins Chuck and Bill. It's White Sox Postgame Live tonight, right after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. And the Angels make a move on the mound as Lowe is taken down, and Michael Kahn has come into the game. 8 1/3, 5 hits, 10 strikeouts, and just 2 walks. And neither left nor right-handers have done anything with him.
So here we go. Viciedo will lead it off. Tank, 1 for 2, had the big hit of the ball game. Takes first pitch strike.
In the 4th inning. 1 too many breaking balls. Cost him 2, made it a 5-4 game at the time. Tyler Flowers later tied it at 5.
That breaking ball low and away. Kahn out of South Carolina, attended the University of South Carolina before transferring to the College of Charleston. And he underwent Tommy John surgery in April of last year.
And nothing wrong with his fastball. He's getting it up there 95, 96.
The 2-1. Well, his grandfather was a 3-star admiral in the Navy. His cousin was a Democratic candidate for governor of South Carolina in 2010.
How would he fare in that very liberal state?
And there's ball 4.
Go ahead run at first base. Was Kahn unable to get the leadoff man, and leadoff walks have a tendency to come home to roost.
Here's Alexei. He's grounded to short and grounded to second. First and third in. Alexei. Outfield straight up, spread out. Gallasco at the cut of the grass. And he takes that breaking ball downstairs.
Shuck is exceptionally deep in left field, deeper than most of the outfielders against Alexei. So plenty of room to drop the ball in front of it. Not that late in the game to play in a no double set.
And that slicing foul. 5-7-0 for them, 5-7-1 for us. Just a short lead by Tank. First of 3 here in this brief 3-game homestand. It's off to Minnesota and Los Angeles. Minnesota for 3, LA for 4. Boy, these guys really
know how to slow down the game.
Nibble.
And eventually you're going to have to let go of the baseball. Both Lowe and Kahn very slow to home plate, which I'm sure your fielders really appreciate on a night where it's 40 degrees and you got in at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's up to 30 seconds since he threw the last pitch. "36 seconds before he threw to first," which again on a cold night does not keep your infield on its toes.
And that's popped up. Kendrick, so 1 out. And that'll bring up Tyler Flowers, who had a big 2-out single, knocking in a run, which turned out to be the tying run. Another short lead by Viciedo.
Tank has not attempted a stolen base, and this is 14th game of the year.
And threw that one by him. That one in 93.
Joe McEwing going through his set of signs, and most likely nowhere in there will you see the steal sign.
Got a pretty good pitch to hit, fouls it back. So 1-2. Other action shows the final now from Detroit. Tigers beat Cleveland 10-4. Scherzer 5-0 over Kluber. Yankees leading Kansas City 10-6 at Kauffman Stadium. Yankees 20-13. And boy, I'll tell you, with what he's running out there, wow. Minnesota leading Baltimore 6-5. The game in the top of the 7th at Target Field. We mentioned Boston shuts out Toronto 5-0. 1-hit shutout for John Lester. Pittsburgh beat the Mets 7-3.
Big story in that one. Jason Grilli, his first year as a full-time closer, recorded his 14th save of the year for the Pirates. They've won 19 games. He's saved 14 of them.
Good for him. He's a nice guy.
He's found a new home because they had Hanrahan all these years as a closer, and Grilli was a starting pitcher, then a middle reliever, now getting his opportunity to close, and you never really know if a guy can do it until he's given the opportunity.
Got him. 2 down.
This fastball had the whole plate. And at 94, Tyler just looked at it.
But here's Diaza. He's 2 for 3, a leadoff homer in the first, and a single in the fourth. Washington beats the Cubs 7-3. Detweiler over Samardzija. Starts him off with a changeup.
Not much of a lead at first base for Viciedo. But there is a gap in right center field if he can pull the ball.
And
it's a foul ball. Called it fair, and it wasn't his call.
Well, it is with a left-handed hitter if he gets boxed out. But anyway, that'll retire the side. We go to the seventh, tied at 5.
See Trumbo going there. The ball. Well, let's flip a coin. It looked like it was foul, but he looks at Nelson. Nelson calls it fair. And Robin had a discussion with Corey Blazer after the inning, but to no avail.
Yeah, the rule is that the ball's got to go past first base before it's a first base umpire's call, but the exception being a left-handed hitter that the home plate umpire gets blocked out on, then it's his call. So here we go. Top of the 7th inning and a 5-5 tie. Conger, Harris, then back to the top of the order with Shuck. Conger has doubled and scored. Started off that 4-run third with that double. And that changeup outside. 2-0 the count.
Harris, who swung the bat exceptionally well against Axelrod in the on-deck circle, so you don't want to put Conger on. Pitch number 89 on the way as Axelrod has had a good bounce back performance since a disastrous third inning.
And that's chopped over by the Angel dugout. So the count hangs at 2-2.
Dane De La Rosa loosening in the pen.
And that is popped out. Yeah, I was just looking at this Yankee, their lineup. They ran out there tonight as they lead Kansas City 10-6. Gardner, center, Cano. Vernon Wells in left. Hafner the DH. Suzuki in right. Jason Nix the shortstop. Lyle Overbay at first. Nelson at third. And Chris Stewart the catcher.
Whole lot of production, especially with the bottom part of the order as it is.
Cues that one with a big swing and bobble. He slipped a little bit, but the ball had already been bobbled. So leadoff man aboard.
This ball came off with a lot of spin, but it's a play that has to be made. Gillespie just actually overran it. And here comes Robin. He does not want to take him out here, but he's already made the decision, and here comes Matt Lindstrom. So as Axelrod walks out, we'll step out and be back after these messages. Matt Lindstrom. He comes in at 1-2 ERA, 386 on for the 17th time. He inherits Conger at first base, representing the go-ahead run.
So a single and that homer from Harris. And the count 0-1.
Dylan Axelrod did a pretty good job after being touched up early in this one. And his man is at first base. Harris does have one sacrifice this year. Inherited runners for Lindstrom has been very good, well above American League average.
Now field to the right. And the count 0-2. Two things over, especially the last 20-25 years seen in baseball. Hitters have a very, very tough time bunting, the majority. And outfielders have a very, very tough time throwing.
I don't think a lot of hitters practice at game speed. I think they're practicing, especially before the games, they're practicing against a lot of their batting practice pitchers or coaches. Gets to be game speed, if you don't work at it, especially on hard breaking pitches, it's tough to get the ball down.
Fouls that back, so the count hangs at 0-2.
Of course, most pitchers are taught in bunt situations, especially early in the count, throw high fastballs. You get a little later in the count, you can throw some wipe out breaking balls.
He gone. Big out. That boy, Matt.
He threw a fastball. It was basically right down the middle, just threw it by him. Swing very tardy from Brendan Harris.
So here's Shuck, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly.
He hit the daylights out of that one in the third inning, chasing Alex all the way back to the wall.
Thought when he first hit it, they had a good chance of getting out of here.
Most any other night but tonight probably would have been.
Chuck has faced Matt twice. He's 1 for 2 with a triple. Baltimore has tied up Minnesota at 6. That game in the bottom of the 7th at Target Field. Two and one.
That was a pitch out and a planned play, but Conger wasn't that far off the bag.
Couldn't get there, so he'll make the turn going to third. Runners at the corners, 1 out, and that'll bring up Mike Trout. So the leadoff era put us in peril.
Just past the outstretched glove of Adam Dunn, and Conger easily goes to third, and he's got very good speed for a catcher.
Trout is 1 for 3, a single and a run scored.
I think you got to play fairly shallow. You're not going to double up Trout, most likely. And the infield is in close.
And that era is going to cross home plate. And now Shuck on his way to third. And it's a 6-5 Angel lead.
Second hit of the night. And a 23rd run batted in for Mike Trout. Fastball on the inner portion, even at 96. Trout hits it right on the button.
So here's Pujols. He's 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. Going away. Here's the count 2-0.
Here's the head and shoulders whiff pitch by pitch sequence. of the strikeout of Pujols in the 5th inning. Axelrod on the mound. Good curveball for a strike. That one misses inside. That curveball drops over, and then the straight change will eventually get him.
Checks it up. Here he comes, and that was late getting to the plate.
Yeah, he would have been out if he'd have just gotten to the plate. It was not caught very well by Tyler Flowers. In fact, you can't backhand this ball. That's one of the reasons it got away. Probably going to go as a fast pass ball, but as you can see, Lindstrom reacts very late. Shuck with a nice job of base running. Lindstrom just stands there. He's frozen. He can't beat him to the plate. And he's safe easily.
So it's a 7-5 Angel lead. Well, last year we gave up 30 unearned runs all year. We've already given up 13 this year. And there's ball 4. That'll bring up Trumbo. He's 1 for 3.
Don Cooper on the phone, getting the bullpen up and going, and Tyler Flowers charged with a pass ball. Compounded by a late start by Matt.
So at this point, it's an unearned run. The second one of the inning. Breaking ball strike. Trumbo is lined hard to right, has an RBI single, a little flare, and the count 0-2.
It's Nate Jones loosening up in the bullpen.
Trumbo was originally drafted as a pitcher. And that fastball outside.
Trumbo has big power to all fields. We've seen him hit the ball out.
Turned into a good one.
We've seen him hit the ball out in right center field consistently in Anaheim.
Ooh, close, just off the plate.
Check where the number 4 shows up. Evens the count at 2-2.
And he's been hitting the long ball, 6 homers in his last 10 games. And a full count. Well, he was the only Angel rookie to ever lead the club in home runs and RBIs. That was in 2011.
Keep your eye on Trout, who's getting a pretty good lead out at second base.
Got way ahead of him, 0-2, and walks it. So the back-to-back walks to Pujols and Trumbo.
And Don Cooper now comes out to have a word on how they would like him to work Hamilton.
And a reminder, join our Sox Kids Club presented by the University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. We're teaming up to promote a healthy lifestyle and combat childhood obesity. Members will receive free White Sox tickets and cool exclusive Kids Club items. So visit whitesox.com.
Yakuba's had his say. 2 runs down, only 1 out with the bases loaded, and a huge situation for Matt Lindstrom.
Sacks packed with halos. Hamilton 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts. Nice pick coming home. Get the force. Yes. Nice play.
You're not going to be able to turn 2 because Hamilton runs so very well. So Connor Gillespie, with the only play he's got in front of him, even with a very fast Mike Trout at third, smothers the short hop and gets it there in time.
So here's Kendrick. He's 1 for 3. A hard single back in the second inning. As I mentioned, this guy is pretty good in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Can't get the breaking ball. Seven, 9, and 0 for them. 5-7 and a big 2 for us. Blaze off that one. 1-1 to count. Fired into the mezzanine. So 1-2.
You had to look at Pujols, Trumbo, and Hamilton. An angel at every base.
Ground ball. Got to go to first. He does, and that'll retire the side. But they come up with a pair. 7th inning stretch. We trail it 7-5.
Who's on his third organization. On for the 17th time, 1-0 ERA, 4.32. Control has been fair. He's got pretty good stuff, and he's tougher on left-handers than he is on right-handers. But it'll be 3 of the first 4 he'll face that will be right-handers.
Well, he's been with the Yankees and the Rays. Pitched for 6 different independent teams. So let's go, boys. Let's get something going. Clevinger 1 for 3. Takes that low and away. And there's a strike. One pitch. Breaking ball high.
Hard to the order due up against De La Rosa. And 9 outs left to get it done.
There's a 2-hopper. 1 out. That'll bring up Alex. Alex 2 for 3 with a run scored. Kid Rose, a big guy, 6'7", 245 pounds. Torrance, California. First pitch strike. One and one. Big Adam Dunn on deck. Konerko in the hole.
Perfect pitcher's pitch. Good fastball. Split the outside corner. And Alex could do nothing with it.
Seven 5 Angels on top if you're just tuning in. We scored 1 in the first. Leadoff homer by Piazza. They came back with 4 in the third. Added 1 in the fourth. We came back with 4 in the fourth. Tied it at 5. And they just added 2 runs. Top half of this inning. Got him.
Alex thought that was inside, and he might have a point there.
He was right.
Corey Blazer arguing with him, but this ball didn't have the play.
He was right.
When a catcher does that and then frames it, you got a real good feeling that he doesn't think it's a strike. Watch the glove of Conger. He brings it back and brings it down into the zone. And he sold it and got the call.
0-1, Adam. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
It's Cinco away from Cinco de Mayo night. May 10th. Nice sombrero.
And the count 0-2.
Tried to throw that high fastball by him. Conger wanted the fastball up. That's where De La Rosa got it, but Adam able to stay alive. And now Corey Blazer hearing a little something from the dugout.
Two out, 0-2 the count. Well, when a guy misses a two-strike pitch like that, that's nothing you can do. Grab some bench, take the bat right out of your hands.
Now, and Alex was swinging the bat pretty well tonight.
That's why Parent was probably getting on him. The 1-2. Checks it up. He did not go. Let's get them going with 2 strikes. 2 out right here, Adam. Get on for Paulie. And that's over into the Angel dugout.
Threw a straight change and a pretty good one. Coming in at 88 when you're used to looking at 94, 95, Adam was just barely able to stay alive.
And there's another one. And that'll do it. We'll go to the 8th. 7-5.
8th inning, and Nate Jones comes into the ball game. Jones on for the 14th time, an 0-3 record, an ERA in the high fives. And he will be looking at Callaspo, Conger, and Harris.
Lower third of the Angel order. Callaspo 0 for 3 tonight. There's a strike to even the count at 1. 7-9-0 for the Halos. 5-7-2 for us. One and two. That one at 95. Pokes that one, and that's going to be a base hit.
Lexi tried his patented slide, pop up, and throw, but he slid over the ball. It hit him in the leg. And it is the first hit of the night for Callaspo.
Here's Conger. He's 1 for 2. A double, a walk. Reached on an error last inning leading off, and that led to 2 runs. And that's the difference in the ball game. Just tuning in, we scored 1 in the first. Leadoff homer for the second straight game by Alejandro De Aza. They scored 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth. We came back to tie it with 4 in the bottom of the fourth. And then they picked up after the error 2 runs in the top of the 7th, and that's the difference. 7-5 bad guys.
Most unusual Angel team in that they swiped a total of 12 bases. In this, their 35th game. They've been thrown out 9 times. So they haven't run a lot, and they haven't run successfully. But they are up by a pair because our boys have been a little generous in the defensive department tonight.
There you go.
Conger goes up and out of the strike zone for this one and can't catch up to it. Not at 98.
So here's Harris. A single, a homer, and a strikeout. And once again, a reminder, tomorrow night, make your plans to be with us for game 2 of this brief 2-game homestand. Jose Quintana against Jerome Williams. And if you can't make it, that game will be over WGN. There's a strike. And then on Sunday evening, that's a 7:05 start. Chris Sale against C.J. Wilson. A couple of southpaws out there on the bump. And it's off to Minnesota for 3 and Los Angeles for 4. Short lead by Callaspo. One and one. Good pitch, didn't get it.
That one had the whole zone. Harris has had a good night.
Harris has always played well against us.
Very versatile player.
Veteran.
Yeah, versatile player. Guy who gives Mike Scioscia a lot of flexibility in where they can use him.
Two and one. Harris last year was at Colorado Springs, where he hit .317, 9 homers, and drove in 63.
There was an example of not really wanting to make a pitch at that point because Callaspo didn't have any kind of lead at first. Sometimes a pitcher won't have a real good idea about where he wants to throw it, or he might disagree with what was called and he'll go to first on something like that.
Count evens at 2. Taking some other scores for you. Bottom of the 9th in Houston. Texas leading 4-2. Bottom of the 8th in Minnesota. Tied at 6 with Baltimore. Yankees now leading Kansas City 11-6. That's in the bottom of the 9th at Kauffman Stadium. Tigers beat Cleveland 10-4 in Detroit. Both Cabrera and Fielder went deep. And there's a base hit. Callaspo will pull up at second.
Third hit of the night for Harris, and after looking very bad on a slider, he got a fastball right down the middle. Inside out swing through the vacated right side. And 2 on, 1 out.
So here's Shuck. Shuck's 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly, a single, and a run scored. Seattle leading Oakland 5-0 that game in the bottom of the 3rd. Out at Great Pacific Northwest. Breaking ball misses, and the count 1-0. And the count 2-0. Cincinnati beat the Brew Crew 4-3 at the Great American Ballpark. Dodgers leading Miami 3-0, top of the 4th out in LA. Phillies 2, D-backs 1 in Arizona. Ground ball. Go to second. And can't get it. Chuck can move it down the line.
Gillespie tries to go 4-3, but a pretty good takeout slide. That by Harris, and they can't turn 2. With Shuck from the left side getting down there, maybe not quite as quick as Trout, but pretty quick.
And here's Trout. He's 2 for 4. RBI and a run scored. .40 degrees as we speak.
This is a pretty important inning. This is only a 2-run game. 6 outs to go. And a less than overwhelming bullpen for Mike Scioscia's Angels. Robin looking for a little more offense.
Falls behind him 2-0. And there's a strike. Been a very, very slow-paced ball game.
Well, you get a pretty good idea of how the Angels played 407 in last night's ball game.
Alexei on the move, throws him out, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 2. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Paul Konerko will lead it off. It'll be Konerko, Gillespie, and Viciedo. And once again, a very big White Sox hello and hope you're feeling better. To Alex Snellius, a little under the weather. Alex, we're thinking about you, buddy.
That's the kind of night it's been from start to finish here at U.S. Cellular Field.
22,638.
Getting a little warmer in the bottom of the 4th inning as our boys scored 4 to tie it at 5.
First pitch strike. Called by Corey Blazer.
Angel bullpen up and going.
And another one. Paulie did not like it. But the count 0-2.
Garrett Richards throwing in the pen in case De La Rosa has some problems.
Ate him up. Callaspo's got plenty of time. And let's check out our AT&T tweet of the game. Let's get this win and dedicate it to Alex Snellius. And I agree with that. Jam talent. Alex, who has been one of, if not the biggest contributor to White Sox charities over the year. It's well over $300,000 he has donated to White Sox charities. There's the first pitch strike to Gillespie. He's grounded to third, struck out, and gone out deep to left field, left center. And the count 0-2. One and two the count. Going back in there. So the count hangs at 1-2. Miami has come back to tie the Dodgers at 3. LA hitting in the bottom of the fourth.
It's been Enright, Lowe, Kahn, and De La Rosa for the Angels. Axelrod went into the 7th inning, and he is the pitcher of record.
Here's the changeup, and 2 down.
A changeup got Adam Dunn to end the 7th inning, so we didn't see it for a while. But for De La Rosa, who almost retired from baseball in 2006, only to go from independent league to independent league, he apparently has found a good spot to throw the change and a good spot in that Angel pen.
Here's Viciedo. He's 1 for 2. A big 2-run double back in the 4th inning to make it a 5-4 ball game. And he came around to score on the single by Tyler Flowers to tie it at 5. It's good to see Tank back in action. Big hack. Final from Kansas City, 11-6 Yankees. Hughes over Wade Davis.
And Tank, with 50 at-bats this year, has yet to take a walk. And he broke his bat, it sounded like. Indeed he did.
And the count 1-2.
Not sure I blame that young fan. Deciding, 1, he or she has seen enough, and 2, it's really cold.
Still 40 degrees. One-two pitch. Lays off the curveball. Six, 7, 245 pounds. De La Rosa, big man. Tank like to have that one back.
He got a fastball inner part of the plate and pretty much fouled it straight back.
And once again, the 2-2. It's full with Alexei on deck. Big gap out there in left center, as this will be the 7th pitch of the sequence.
Alexei hoping that Viciedo can keep it alive.
And another souvenir. That one at 93.
Just keeps throwing it higher and higher, and Viciedo, who has not walked this year, shows you why.
And that's fair. Short hop. Picked up by Trumbo, and that'll retire the side. We got one more inning, and they lead it 7-5.
You by Miller Lite, and it's our Miller moment. And it came in the 7th inning. Mike Trout driving in the go-ahead run. The Angels were to tack on one more. That's the difference in the game to this point. Our Miller moment.
So here's Pujols. Trumbo and Hamilton. Breaking ball strike. Albert 1 for 3, a double, a run scored, and a walk. And the count 0-2. Albert's favorite player when he was growing up was Julio Franco, one of the greatest top hands in the history of the game.
He spent a long time in the game, and he was one of the biggest bats I've seen.
One of the heaviest. Yeah, he anywhere from 35, 36 ounces. Could hit line drives to right field as hard as any right-handed hitter.
There's the spot with Albert. If you're going to get him any place, that last pitch was probably the place.
1-2 the count. Hit it and then jumped up and hit him.
How about Francisco?
What a great player this guy has been as that's fouled straight back. Wow.
I saw him in his first series against the Arizona Diamondbacks when they had Schilling and Johnson, their top two. They worked him in, out, up, down. They worked him with changes and sliders and curveballs and everything that they had. In the case of Schilling, fork balls. He was spread wide out, and nobody had him out in front of anything. And he looked like he was going to be a great one, and that's how it turned out.
Yeah. 1 out.
That slider out away and kept going away further.
And Albert has done so much charitable work. In fact, the December 2005 charity auction, he bid $2,500 for the glove Roger Clemens wore during his 300th win, and then gave it to Mickey Cunningham. There's Alexei. And that's out number 2. So Trumbo now 1 for 3. And Mickey Cunningham was a teenager with Down syndrome.
That was certainly a very nice thing and a generous thing to do.
Oh, LaRussa Tony told me this guy was just an unbelievable individual. In fact, he became a United States citizen when he was sworn in by Judge Richard Weber, and he received a perfect score on oral and written exam. As want to know the count, Josh Hamilton, who's 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts, a fly out to left, and hit into a 5-2 fielder's choice. And that was right on by him at 97.
We were born here, and I don't think I'd like to take that exam. We certainly wouldn't get perfect scores.
Well, Albert also learned how to speak English in less than a year.
So did I.
No, it took you a little longer than that. You may have said mama and dada, but that's about it for a while. No, Albert, besides being very generous, also a very smart guy.
And boy, can he hit.
Oh. Nice pick. Pick it, Nelson. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Ramirez, Flowers, and Diaz are the scheduled hitters. iPhone, iPad, and Android. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit whitesox.com.
Got a new pitcher that comes in the ball game. Ernesto Frieri. ERA 180. He is their closer. Left-handers have done absolutely nothing with him. Right-handers have hit him pretty well. Frieri looking for his 6th save. Total of 15 innings, only 7 hits. 21 strikeouts, but 11 walks. So if you are patient, which is something we've done 3 times tonight, might be able to get a couple of base runners. Dwayne Wise is in the on-deck circle. He's probably going to come out and pinch hit for Tyler Flowers.
So here we go. Come on, Alexei. Let's do this. Let's get this thing done. Let's get a couple, maybe even 3. Alexei is grounded to short, grounded to second, and popped to second. Outfield around to the right.
That one just missed. If Alexei were about 2 pounds heavier, he'd be on first base.
Two 2-0 the count. Don't help him out.
He's had control problems. Let's see if they continue.
3-0. Take 2. Quintana against Jerome Williams tomorrow night. So make your plans to be with us. If you can't, that game will be over WGN. And Sunday night at 7:10 start. That game will be over ESPN.
Hour earlier tomorrow. So 6 o'clock start.
And there is the leadoff walk. Yes.
That brings Callaspo and Conger to the mound. Lexi, not sure what the call was. He knew the pitch was down. And as Conger tries to drag it into the zone, Corey Blazer says go to first. So that brings a tying run to the plate in Dwayne Wise.
D. Wise. Swung the bat well in New York.
And because he's been starting so much due to injuries, only 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year.
He swung the bat well and came up without much to show for it. In fact, he had the best at bats
in the Matt Harvey game, with very few people could say that they had good at bats.
That's the best stuff we're going to see all year.
Yeah, he was overwhelming.
Yeah. I don't know anybody in this league that's got that kind of stuff. Decent lead by Alexei. And that one at 93 and the count 0-2. Diaz on deck. First and 30. Come on, D. Wise. And that's out of play over our dugout for a souvenir.
Friere's original organization was the Padres.
Got him. 1 out.
Friere went to the high heat and threw a fastball right by him. Conger once again to the mound. Just in case, Jesse Crain getting loosened up in the bullpen.
And if you're just tuning in, Piazza let off bottom of the first with his 7th homer. That's the 2nd game in a row. And we'll show you that after this pitch.
Barry Enright on the hill, and before he could settle down, Piazza drove his 7th out of the ballpark, giving him 15 driven in.
Change up way outside, so the count 1-1.
Alejandro taking a long look down at Joe McEwing, but no signs here to him.
And now he's down in the count 1-2. Keppinger on deck. 7-11-0 for their guys, 5-7-2 for our guys. Big Era leading off the top of the 7th inning, led to 2 runs. Angels, who played 4 hours and 7 minutes last night. And there has not been a rain delay tonight as he gets him. Just a long ball game. These guys take a ton of time in between pitches.
Kept another fastball up, and this one out of the strike zone. So the first time tonight, Alejandro down on strikes, and we're down to our last out.
Keppinger, 1 for 4. We need a base hit, a walk, hit by a pitch, something to get Alex up to that dish. And that is fouled away, and it's going to be out of play.
They were conceding second, but now Alexei has to go back. If the Angels do hang on, be the first time all year that they've won back-to-back games on the road. They came in at 5-13, and they're 1 out away from accomplishing that.
Well, it's not who you play, but when you play it. And teams are catching us at the right time. There's the strike, and the count 0-2. And this ball game is over. So we tie it up. But once again, defense, error,
and the
2 runs.
And the pass ball really hurt also.
Pass ball,
and
2 unearned runs.
Mental mistake by Matt Lindstrom as he didn't cover the plate. And so the Angels, who got in very late, win the first game of the series, run their record on the road to 6-13, and unfortunately, not a good way to start this abbreviated homestand.
And let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is the Angel Bullpen, who did a heck of a job shutting us down. That's our GMC players of the game. So for my partner, Steve Stone, our director, Jim Angie, our producer tonight, Todd Benjaminson, our associate producer, Chris Kamka, our technical manager, Mark Harper, and for the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr., up here in the booth, Mike Mayer, Mike Leone, Todd, John the Sound, Todd Benjaminson, Frank D'Amato. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.